Picture this, signing glyphs right outside the Vic to any girl in the world. You can get next to have her in pearls or laid back in sweats. Being on stage, collecting those checks. Everything got a price, that's right. What would you give to spend a day in the life? Platinum and ice, champagne flutes. Damn, that sound nice.
What up, School of Struggle Nation? It is your host, Chris M. here. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I'm sure you've been having a fucking amazing week, just as I have. I've been up to a fair bit lately, in all honesty. I've been a little bit quiet. I genuinely apologise for that. I've been working in my own businesses as opposed to actually recording. I have got a few podcasts in the pipeline though. There's 3 or 4 that I've recorded that I haven't released yet, which I'm super excited about. I just want to make sure that everything's in line before I do that. I've got to get some stuff sort of put together because there's some competitions in there too. Some really interesting ones as well. We're giving a flight away, which I don't want to give too much information on just yet, but we're giving a flight away. It's going to be from San Francisco to Australia, or wherever you are in the world. We'll make it happen too. It's going to be fucking exciting. It's in conjunction with Qantas and someone else too, so it's fucking exciting in all honesty. So I got 4 booked away, which I'm very excited to release. I just need to do it at the right time too. So today we're going to give you a bit of a podcast and just a bit of information, a little bit of a story in honesty on how specific things have helped me over time. You sort of increase my own personal emotional intelligence and just some fucking strength too, you know what I mean? So that stuff makes a big difference to your daily outlook as well, right? So, but into my own businesses and stuff, I've been helping some other people out with their personal branding. They're getting some great results, seeing some great value being provided to the people that they have around them, which is obviously my ultimate goal is just to help more, you know what I mean? So I obviously started this podcast to educate people and give them some information on how to actually be successful, even if not at school, right? So when I started this, when I started anything really, I got kicked out of every school I ever went to, right? And I didn't learn anything I know today from school other than how to actually pass my shit with the lowest investment of effort and time to get the best results. And I think that's what helped me a lot in my sales world too, a bit further down the track and all to the stuff as well. But I started this to help people learn everything about how to be successful in their business and personal life in the quickest way possible too. So with this, the project I have going at the moment in my art media company, the Graffiti Bible, it's taken off this week. I've done a whole lot of stuff for a competition, put a whole lot of works in place. It's been live for 1 day. It's a graffiti sketching competition for a worldwide platform. A little bit different. Most people don't know me for that, but it's obviously something I'd like to share with you guys too. It's going really well. I think we've been live for 1 day. We've had 2,000 entries so far, which is super exciting. I've got some of the world's largest people involved within that space and some great sponsors too. I'd like to thank Ironlac for that. They're the world's largest paint company in that space, and they've done nothing but be amazing for me too. So I'm really, 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 really grateful that they're involved with that as well. But after day 1 and already having 2,000 people put their efforts in across the world is super exciting, and I can't wait to see more of that happen too, right? So, but today we're going to get into a little bit of a different, not a different podcast. I've spoken about this in so many different ones, but I think this time it might sink into some people on how strength training can correlate with business. You know what I mean? For me, strength training has been a massive part of my life over the past sort of coming up 10 years, you know what I mean? So it's definitely helped me progress in so many different ways. I think for me specifically, it's helped me progress mentally, physically, obviously, and it's helped me help other people too, because the better you are and the stronger you are in your mind and your body, the more value you have to give to other people, and the more you can do at the same time as well. The longer you can go, the more energy you'll have in the day to actually keep pushing through at the same time. And stuff like that is what actually fucking makes a big difference for me too, right? So I've got a couple of stories to tell you today, some of my own and some from others as well, that I think will make a big difference in the way you perceive how strength training can actually benefit your life. Now, this morning, I didn't get a chance to train. I had a whole lot of stuff that I needed to do, and I'm fucking dying in all honesty. I need to go train, so I'm gonna finish off this podcast. I'm gonna go train before my meetings first today. I've got a massive day ahead of me, so. Look, strength training genuinely saved my life, and it actually helped me excel in my business tenfold, in everything to do with business. It really did. But honestly, like, just listen to that as if you needed any more reason to get in the gym, right? You know the benefits it can give you, but the bold statement of that exact thing that helped me excel in my business tenfold is legitimately true. Now, strength training for me has it's sort of laid the foundational bricks for me to set up my business life as well. Much like, and this is where I'm going to get into my first story, much like a very famous and successful human. You might know him as, the Governor or anything like that. Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger. There aren't many people out there that can successfully say that they've dominated 3 vastly different industries over and over again. So fitness, you obviously, if even if you aren't in the fitness world, you know who Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger is. It would be absurd to think that you weren't, that you didn't know who that was. And it's because he worked so fucking hard in that space that he is the icon for fitness worldwide. So fitness, Hollywood, he's been in so many fucking movies. Like what? How can you tell me that you have not seen something like RoboCop? How the fuck can you tell me you haven't seen all these movies that this guy's been in? And he's still doing it now. The Expendables and all that stuff too. How the fuck is he doing it all? And it's amazing, you know what I mean? And then the last of the big 3, I think, is politics, in all honesty. How would you even think that someone like that can conquer fitness, Hollywood, and politics? And Arnold Schwarzenegger can. I think the next person in line to do that would be someone like The Rock. I'm really excited to see that too. I think The Rock will become president. I'm calling it. I think if he actually puts his hand up for 2020, he will get it, and I'm so excited to see that happen too, because I've looked up to that guy my whole life, and I think it'd be amazing for him to do that too. But with Arnold, like, why did he do that? Well, not only because he's the fucking man, but like, why the fuck not? His secret though. From I've seen him speak live so many times as well, right? He's adamant that the success stems from everything in his life, from lifting weights in the gym for so many years. A quote that I've heard him say a million times is, "Every step of the way it helped me. It was the foundation for everything." You learn about visualization, you learn about discipline, you learn about camaraderie, you learn about not listening to the naysayers. Now, it's so true. Everything that was said just then, it's especially not listening to the naysayers. You just sort of get in, grind, do your thing, and results will happen. And I think that specific one is where, obviously, in line with visualization and discipline, will definitely help you in your business sort of ventures regardless too. So that it's always inspiring seeing him talk, and that specific time that I saw him, I was really inspired too. But in saying that, although every time I've seen Arnie on stage, his speech is almost the exact fucking same. I swear to God, every time I see it, it's like copy-paste, but it inspires so many people, and it holds so much weight in the daily psychological motivation as well. I think that is probably the most important part, because if you can actually get your psychological brain tapped into exactly how to elevate your energy and elevate your motivation for anything in the day, and just help you think clearer and all to the stuff too, and that will help in so many different spaces as well. So this is the stuff that's going to help you grind through the hard days and excel in your finest moments. I generally tend to believe that too. He explained by visualizing your goal, going after that goal, you visualize relentlessly, and finding great joy in every step of the way. So every rep you do, every set you do, every sit-up you do, every chin-up you do gets you one step closer when it comes down to it. Arnie has let the world know that he even learnt film scripts the exact same way that he learned how to lift weights, in all honesty, but by doing reps. You know what I mean? It's the same principle. He said it was almost the same principles of success that he learned in bodybuilding that helped him become the governor of California. He also added for this specific talk that I was listening to, that like live, and it was just amazing to hear that too. You know what I mean? So, and I don't think you just need to take Arnie's words on the benefit of weight training when it comes down to it. I've looked into some other studies as well. Results of a recent study of a University of Sydney in Australia's trial found that resistance training led to more cognitive improvement in your brain too, which is huge. The stronger people became, the greater the benefit for their brain. Which is just amazing, you know what I mean? So if you have to think about that, the stronger that you become physically, the stronger your brain is, and the higher levels you can think on, and actually provide more value to whatever you're putting energy into, you know what I mean? And I think that's such an amazing thing for anyone that's looking to move forward in any way, shape, or form too, right? So, but look, a little into my story. For anyone that doesn't know and is listening now, like, I started weight training probably around 19, 20 years old. I was just short of 100 kilo fat kid in high school who used to get ridiculed at every single angle for it at the same time too. I remember they used to say some fucking disgusting things, man. It was terrible, and I'm gonna be honest and say fuck you to all of you. But thank you at the same time too, because when it comes down to it, I'm grateful for that, because it pushed me into a different space, and it actually it made me the person that I am today. But at the same time, fuck you, because fuck you. Bit of a side note, I love that fast forward 10 years in this, these same people have started asking me for fitness and business advice. I think it's amazing that everything can go, full circle, and people can change their fucking perception on someone so quickly at the same time too. Just this morning, a very good friend of mine's partner has asked me to go train her and stuff too, because I'm the only person she thinks would be able to make her do her fucking workouts and get the most out of it too. And for someone who was a fat kid for so many years and getting ridiculed for it and all that stuff too, I think it's such a nice thing to have someone who's only known me for a short amount of time. So in the grand scheme of things, I've known her for about a year, to ask me to go take her through workouts in the gym because I'm the only person she thinks will make her fucking kill her workouts. I take that as a massive, massive, massive compliment, in all honesty, and thank you. You know what I mean? Thank you so much. But like, it's seriously been a very key element to me as a person too, like strength training within itself. So I love how the world can come full circle like that, and for those that put work in it anyway, you know what I mean? So similar to Arnie's story, I find myself in a place of great flow when I actually am training as well. And now that I've said it, obviously I have to go train after this, because I've been in flow this morning. I've been doing a lot, but obviously you actually are a lot better. So the oxygen obviously flows through the system to better the brain. Endorphins rise. You have more energy to get through the day and clock in some better, more intelligently used hours to your working day and personal world as well. And that's so fucking true. Like, my days are long. I'm very known to get out of the office at like fucking 1 a.m. in the morning and be back in it by 7, 8 a.m. And I think strength training will help you use your hours more intelligently during the day, because your endorphins have risen, and there's more oxygen into the brain, so you'll actually be able to use those hours more effectively because you actually have more energy as well. But it's had a massive impact on my life in so many different ways, from changing my physique to being something that's given me more confidence in my day-to-day life to help me close some bigger deals in the sales world. And like, I'm still selling daily, you know what I mean? But you got to be thinking about it, and you're selling yourself too. And when it comes down to it, I don't think there's anyone in the world that doesn't think that that doesn't think that I don't have confidence. I was chatting to a friend on the phone the other day, and I was actually doing a business deal with him, and he was chatting about one of his clients, and he was just sort of saying that a couple of his clients they need to have more confidence in their day and all that stuff, because they've done some fucking amazing things, but sometimes they just don't back themselves. And his quote was, "They don't need to have Chris M confidence," and I fucking lost it, because like it was just accentuating the fact that people know that I have a fucking very, 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 very big belief in myself, and I think that's what gives me the confidence in the first place. And I swear to God, it came from weight training, because coming from a fat kid to someone that can actually be asked for advice on training now, and advice on business and all sort of stuff, and I guarantee you it stemmed from the weight training, is fucking sensational. I can't thank people more for giving me the opportunity to help them in any way, shape, or form too. It's such a beautiful thing, and I'm so grateful for it. You know what I mean? It makes me feel great. But look, if I hadn't started weight training, I may very possibly still be a delinquent kid on the streets doing extremely questionable things. Like I've mentioned in the past, I've done some questionable stuff as well, but I think everyone does as a kid, you know what I mean? And I think it's got a lot to do with the fact that it's you got to do stupid shit to realize it's wrong, right? And I was a little bit of a rebel when I was a kid. I got into a lot of fights, and I got into a lot of places where I shouldn't have, and I learned so much from that. I learned more from the experiences where I wasn't meant to be doing something, and I really, 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 really am grateful for the trouble I got into as well. because it teaches you that you shouldn't be doing things like that, and you can't cut corners sometimes. You can do things smartly, but you can't cut corners, and that's the same with training. You can't cut corners. You got to put the fucking work in, and it's the same with your business. You got to put reps in every single fucking day. You have to make sure that you are killing it in your gym workouts just as hard as you are in your work workouts, because if you aren't putting the same amount of effort into both, it's just not going to fucking work. But like with me, I weight training actually split me up from various groups of friends to part with them when I was in that space when I was younger, because it showed me that there was a better way to life sometimes. Like, as mentioned, I was that little bit of a delinquent and stuff too. And every time I get I get into something, every time I take a new skill on, I get very engulfed in it, and I didn't fit in with these people anymore, and they didn't want me around, and I didn't want them around either, and it just sort of worked. Sometimes that can be hard, but I think when it comes to something like this, it's so forward projecting for your own personal growth. It's fucking amazing too, you know what I mean? So it's one of the things that I'm most grateful for in my life, because it helped me level up so much, which has done this again and again and again. Every time I feel fucking terrible, I jump in the gym, because it makes you feel like a fucking king again, and that's what you want to be doing. You want to be feeling like a fucking king or queen. I know I've got a lot of female listeners now too, and thank you so much for listening. I know I'm a little bit abrasive and I fucking talk some shit, but I provide bulk value too, because I want to make sure that you guys are providing more value to the rest of the world. Because if that can happen as a byproduct of me, that makes me feel better than anything else as well. So, and it's done it again and again and again. Every time I feel bad, every time something's not happening right in my businesses, man, I go back and train, because I feel like that's the best way to get your brain into the right headspace to be back in a winning mode again, you know what I mean? So if I could impart any advice on anyone who's looking to move forward, it's going to the gym and fucking killing it, because if you can do that, start your day off by doing that. I think the first thing you should do is actually make your bed. I got a slap in the face while I was in Melbourne this past week. And it was a comment just saying, I do it anyway, but it was a good quote from a good friend of mine. She said, if you can't make your bed in the fucking morning, what can you do? Because that's putting your life back into order. Because that way when you get home, you jump in bed, it's fucking comfortable. It's ready made. You don't have to like lie in shambles, you know what I mean? So, and that's the same with everything else as well. If you can't do that, what are you going to be able to do? But I take a little bit of a different perspective on that when it comes to hit the fucking gym. And if you can't do that, what else are you going to do? 40 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes every day, just to make sure that your brain's in the right headspace, that your body's in tip-top condition to actually make sure that you're closing your deals, your business is running effectively, your relationships are better too, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, if you're a guy or a girl and you're hitting the gym, you're going to be more appealing to every motherfucker too. Physically, emotionally, mentally, everything. When it comes down to it, if you are killing it in the fucking gym, people notice that shit. And people will make you feel like $1 million fucking dollars every time they give you a compliment as well. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love compliments. They're amazing. But I'm very humble about it too. Because when it comes down to it, I'm just happy that people actually can see the results that are coming through. Because that means the biggest thing for me. If I'm working hard and people are seeing results, I thank them for noticing that. Because that's just, it's a byproduct of actually putting the work in. And I think it all starts for me at strength training. That's why I'm harping on this so much today too. So if I could impart any wisdom on someone that wants to move forward in those spaces, set your alarm earlier. 1 hour earlier every single day. Get up, get your ass into the gym. It's that fucking simple. Not only is it going to help you move towards the body you want, but it's actually going to help kick in the endorphins that provide the brain more oxygen, which will help you think on those high levels every single morning too, right? So I recommend training in the morning. If you can't, that's cool. You can still train at night, and obviously you can use that more as a release. I find people that train at night, or when I train at night, it's more of a release. Like if you had a shit day, whatever it is, you just want to get in the gym and get some of that aggression or whatever it is out, or frustration out, and that's cool too. That's perfectly fine. But I do like training more so in the morning, because that way you can actually you set yourself right up for the day, and it's as simple as just actually getting up an hour earlier to go to the gym and get that done as well. And that's the same with your business. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have the time to work on your business, you need to make time when it comes down to it. I've got another podcast in the works. It's going to be how to be successful outside your business hours. Even if you're working as an entrepreneur, how to be successful after the 9 to 5. I think that is where I got majority of my success. It was between 6 p.m. and 1 a.m. every night, because the other people aren't working, the other people aren't selling. That's when you should be working and selling, and I think that's the best way to do it. But why strength training though? Strength training, in my eyes, will be the most positive impact, bang for buck way to achieve all that anyway. So strength training will actually help you burn more calories quicker and longer than doing just a cardiovascular workout as well. So you'll find those cardio bunnies and all to the stuff. It's good for a quick endorphin release, but it doesn't actually build anything. It may help for if you want to become a marathon runner and all to the stuff, and if that's your goal, that's cool. But strength training is still going to assist that as well, because obviously the faster your muscle fibers will twitch and all to the stuff, the faster you're going to be able to do everything in that space as well. So, in essence, with the right diet, it'll help you reach the goal you want to reach quicker as well. So, whether the goal is getting stronger, to empower you, to give you more strength to close a serious deal, or change your body composition for the better, which will give you more confidence in the day to keep, and it will feed the brain more oxygen as well. So, confidence, oxygen in the brain, and the strength to close every fucking deal. And that's not just in a business deal. That's dealing with your kids, making sure they're doing what they've got to fucking do, making sure that everyone around you is in the right space. Because as I said, you're selling yourself every day just as much as you're selling anything else that it might be that you might be selling if you're in a selling space. But even if you're not, even if you're a graphic fucking designer, closing a deal for you is getting more work or doing amazing work for a client. You know what I mean? And obviously these people are paying you. Even if you're doing it for yourself, if you do something that you fucking love in design, and it's because you put the work in, if you have a higher amount of oxygen in your brain, you'll be able to do it at a better rate, have a better sight and vision of it as well. And once you've seen that positive result at the end, that's you closing that deal. And I think it shows. It shows at the end of it anyway, right? But for me, as I mentioned, I've harped on the whole the whole strength training thing quite a large amount. In the show notes, I've put a link to the exact full body program I'm using at the moment. It's a great way for anyone to start if you're time poor. It actually reads for advanced lifters, but to be fair, I call complete fucking bullshit. It's just be smart with it. Just make sure that you're actually using the right tempos and the right weight and stuff too. Don't try and be a fucking hero. Crawl before you can walk and walk before you can run. Because if you try and do it the other way around, you'll fucking hurt yourself. And I think that's the same with your business. It's the same with your personal relationships. You know what I mean? Like if you're about to get into a relationship, don't go too quick. Walk, crawl before you can walk and walk before you can run. And that's the same with this. But I've put the show in the show notes. I've put the link to the exact workout I'm using at the moment. It makes a massive difference to me every day. I actually can't wait to go and fucking train now. My brain is screaming for it. Get your 30 to 60 minute workout in a day. It'll change your world. I fucking promise you. You know what I mean? Now go and fucking get it. You have everything within your space and your brain to go and fucking kill it today. Go and get a workout in to make sure that you can actually work on a higher level today as well. So, and do me a huge favor. Again, thank you so fucking much for listening. I really enjoy that I get so many fucking nice messages and all to the stuff too about this, and I really appreciate when people appreciate the work that goes into this as well, because it's sometimes it's not easy fucking taking the time out to record these podcasts and stuff too. They go for a while. But I do it for you guys. I don't do it for me. I do it because people keep asking me to provide more content, because it's helping them through some cool shit too, you know what I mean? So, and I really appreciate that the people appreciate that as well. And I just love doing it, to be fair. I just love doing it. But go fucking kill it today, and just do me one favor. Go and leave a comment and rating on iTunes for us. This is the only way that we actually can get more viewership and go up in the rankings for the podcast app in iTunes. So if you can leave a rating, whatever rating you want it to be, and a comment on the comment section too, that'd be amazing, because we just I really appreciate it, and obviously I want to provide more value to more people. And if you could just tell one friend Tell one friend about this podcast and share it with them so they can be provided value from it as well. I'd really appreciate it. But do me a huge favor and go fucking kill it today. Get in the gym, do a massive workout, and then go close a huge fucking deal because you deserve it and you deserve to be providing the value to the other people because they're going to get it from you too. Trust me. Do that and never settle, motherfuckers. Love you so much. Peace.